Yes, sir, brother.
Yes, greeting to the Ethiopian brothers and sisters who cannot master book and pencil by the behavior put forward by the Prime Minister of Ethiopia. If not, he would not make certain statements. If he really believed that he could master book and pencil. The mere fact that Mingish to commit atrocity by killing over 2 million Ethiopians and run away to Zimbabwe and stay there. And now that the Prime Minister sent Haile Miriam to establish a reconciliation, the discussion that Mingish too could come back to Ethiopia and live. When I say and live, I'm speculating, but what I heard from people in the Crown Council, they think that the chance of Mingish to come to live in Ethiopia is 100%. Now what I want to understand is that the Prime Minister is not a theologianist, yet he takes the responsibility to create a unity in diversity for the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. When His Imperial Majesty is the unchallenged leader and Patriarch Theophilus, who were murdered, was the unchallenged leader when overthrew Haile Selassie I government. Now, if he's not a theologianist, how can he take up that task to create a unity in diversity and a split in the church? The reason I believe he take that task up is because he know that the Ethiopian people, the older generation, cannot read and write. So because of that, he take that dictatorship. He took a photograph with 3 Orthodox bishops. Macarius, who is now the head of the spiritual and ecclesiastic era of the Orthodox Church. In the writing of Haile Selassie I, Haile Selassie I is the Prince Regent of Christ, compatible to the Vicar of Christ, that position held by Constantine. Now, if the question of reconciliation with Mengistu and the unity and diversity with the church of Haile Selassie, the Orthodox Church, one would believe you first have to what them call constitutional monarchy and the resurrection of constitutional monarchy to Haile Selassie I. Because it is only the constitutional monarchy can attempt to create that unity and diversity with the Orthodox Church. At this moment in time, the Coptic Orthodox Church in Egypt reject these behavior because they reject Paulus' behavior and they reject the next Orthodox patriarch behavior because they did not get the ecclesiastic spiritual blessing from the Catholic Church in Egypt. So right now, and I believe that there's no blessing from them. If you read Maccabee chapter 1 verse 9, you'll understand that the Maccabees' brother performed the same act as what the Prime Minister of Ethiopia is doing, and it did not work. So what the Church of Haile Selassie in Jamaica is saying, it can't recognize the Ethiopian Orthodox Church until they fulfill the requirement asked for by the Coptic Church in Egypt. So what we are saying tonight is that we have a problem because, as you know, they burned down the Ethiopian Orthodox Church in Somalia. when the Orthodox Church was celebrating the birth of Christ, they killed 3 priests and caused a riot. So, to me, I think the Prime Minister of Ethiopia should withdraw himself from this concept that it can create that unity within the split of the church, and deal with the statical side of Ethiopia. Some like resurrection of constitutional monarchy, the resurrection of His Majesty Haile Selassie I dynasty, and leave the rest to the people of Ethiopia. What one will have to understand is that 74, when the overthrow of Haile Selassie I government came to be, it was a young student who lived to go to America to get education, who lived to go to Russia to get education, and who lived to go to England for education. They were the one who support the organization concept of overthrow of His Imperial Majesty. And these are the same students now is depending on to carry Ethiopia forward. It's not going to work because these students is 30, now 40, and they're non-political and they're not politically developed. So what the Church of Haile Selassie is saying that we want some clarity from the Prime Minister of Ethiopia. We are not like his people with deep respect who is not educational developed. Because lack of secular education can allow a Prime Minister or a President to do things that wouldn't be right because the populace is not politically developed to oppose it. And even if they want to oppose it, the military might of the Prime Minister of Ethiopia demonstrate that when a lot of people in Ethiopia who were demonstrating for more land and employment. The question of the human rights and the democracy which America would like to see Ethiopia work with. It's not going to work because most of these people were some of the generals who seek exile in America. Most of these people were people who were used by Mingish to commit all the atrocities in Ethiopia. So I believe that out of decency, genuine morality, the Prime Minister of Ethiopia should give us some clarity. Why? Because 1966, His Imperial Majesty identified Jamaican national as Ethiopian. Blood brothers, which means is a DNA principle. And 3 weeks ago, because of that DNA concept, the Church of Haile Selassie and the Imperial Ethiopian Federation called the Prime Minister their Prime Minister because they believe that he would honor what was said by His Imperial Majesty 1966 in the Parliament of Jamaica. So I believe that we have a right as Ethiopian sovereign to give him some kind of clarity for that program that the Prime Minister of Ethiopia has done. My second question is, how do not hear anything from the Crown Council of Ethiopia? And statement defending the grassroots Ethiopian people. I believe that the Crown Council have a right to make statement on behalf of the grassroots people. I believe that 1935, His Imperial Majesty 36 stand in Geneva as a one man and make statement to the world. And I believe that the Crown Council leadership should make a statement. If I know the leadership want to play active part in Ethiopia politics, a monarchy concept, they should make a statement that the grassroots people will hear their voice and know where they are going. Today, the 5th of August, God and history is watching what is taking place in Ethiopia today. Sure. The question of Mengistu return is a speculation, but political speculation is not any surprise 2018. Know that Zimbabwe get rid of Mugabe. The question of Mengistu living in Harare is a $62 million question. And I don't believe that the president of Zimbabwe will tolerate Mengistu. Know that he want help him country and just win an election not even a month ago. So we say it again that the Church of Haile Selassie I and the Imperial Ethiopian World Federation need some clarity on what is taking place in Ethiopia. The question of two patriarchs, in the history of Ethiopia, two patriarchs has ever controlled. So again, I believe that the Orthodox Christian in Jamaica, other part of the world, need some clarity that they can worship God in spirit and in truth according to their doctrine. Mr. Prime Minister, out of decency, I believe that he should give some answer of clarity to the Church of Haile Selassie and the Imperial Ethiopian World Federation Incorporated. Because it is twice we meet your ambassador in Washington, and it's twice they make a promise that when you visit Washington, they will give us the chance to have an interview with you. This did not fulfill. So I believe that now that we are living in the age of technology, you can always find some way that your ambassador does not embarrassed by promises they made to the Church of Haile Selassie and the Imperial Ethiopian World Federation. With that, I'd say, blessed be Jah.
Rastafari, Emperor Haile Selassie.
Yes, greetings again to the Ethiopian people at home and abroad, and to the Rastafarian community worldwide. We're at the Church of Haile Selassie in New York at this time, and we're not pleased to see the behavior Prime Minister Amin of Ethiopia, because he visited the United States of America and promised that he would have a meeting with us through Ambassador Casa. And we did not get that meeting. He said he would try to reach all the people, as he said, in the diaspora, which is Ethiopian people scattered abroad. We, as Yabuna Emmanuel Foster said, His Majesty identify us in the Caribbean as Ethiopian sovereign. Yes, we are Jamaican national and Caribbean national, but we are Ethiopian sovereign. And what we see in terms of his behavior from his inauguration speech, we could have said that he lied to us and the people. Yeah, because he has not fulfilled what he said when he said he was going to bring back that past glory of Ethiopia. The past glory of Ethiopia is Emperor Haile Selassie I. Sure. And the Constitution of Ethiopia, His Majesty Constitution. And when we spoke to the Ambassador Casa, we talked about restoration of Emperor Haile Selassie I's government and dynasty in Ethiopia. So you would believe that when the Prime Minister of Ethiopia quote Emperor Haile Selassie I's speech, it's like he's a fraud. Because he must say that to get support from other people. But all that he's doing, he has not met with us, and it's we from 1974. The Church of Haile Selassie I and the Imperial Ethiopian World Federation from 1974 is recharged liberation, restoration, struggle of Emperor Haile Selassie I's government in Ethiopia. He has done nothing concerning that. So he said the fraud. He has proven that so far. And we are saying to all those who are watching this, the Ethiopian people abroad and in Ethiopia, that be careful, because it seems like this Prime Minister is trying to do things that is impossible. Only Emperor Haile Selassie I did that in history. Because when he's trying to bring unification with the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, he's not able to do that because he rejects monarchy. And it's a royal priesthood that Emperor Haile Selassie I established in Ethiopia and modernized the whole thing with modern Ethiopianism. And he has failed so far to fulfill what he said. He gave empty promises. And he is trying to fool up the people then, because most of them are not educated on the history of Emperor Haile Selassie I. So we are saying to the Ethiopian Prime Minister and his cabinet and the whole government of Ethiopia, be careful, because it seems like once you are talking about peace, 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 it's like it's war, war, war. We see coming. Because when you speak of Mengistu, and we hear that in the news, that Mengistu is coming back to Ethiopia, that one cause a war. Because all those families that Mengistu killed out, hundreds of thousands of these people family, you think them can accept that today? Talking about, what about justice for the people?
Sure.
You are talking about reconciliation. We are talking about justice.
Sure.
That man Mengistu is a criminal.
Yeah.
And we are asking the Hague, the World Justice Court in the Hague, as them try other African people and other people for war crimes. How come them not hold on upon Mengistu? And also Mengistu was said that he was tried in Ethiopia even though he was not present.
Yeah, all seven.
And how comes, I don't say nobody punishing Mengistu, are talking about his arrest and conviction. And if he go to prison, he go to prison. Or if he's supposed to face the gallows, he face the gallows. Execution. Because he killed millions of people. So he must kill millions of people and come home back and then welcome him. So I'm saying that all this time this Prime Minister talking about Ethiopian people and want peace and like him love the Ethiopian people. It's lie, Mattel. It's a big lie. Because you couldn't love the Ethiopian people and this man Mengistu, who killed so many hundreds of thousands of Ethiopians, you are accepting back in Ethiopia? No. It can't be true. We are seeing this thing, but we can't believe it. But we are saying to the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, Ahmed, that you, it seems to us that you are a traitor to the restoration struggle of Emperor Haile Selassie I's government. And you pretend to the people as if you want peace and reconciliation. That's a lie. It's a big lie. So we are saying, in terms of you talking about unity in the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, you're a fraud. You're not a royalist. It's a royal priesthood. So where's the royalty? Where's His Majesty government? What about the restoration? What about the Imperial Ethiopian World Federation and the Church of Haile Selassie I? You people, you don't really call His Majesty name. You don't bring His Majesty in anything that you're doing. So how can it be a success? It's not going to be a success. It's going to turn into blood. I'm telling you, be careful in what you're doing, because you are setting up yourself. I can look at World War II, the same thing. That happened in World War II, talking about peace, peace, peace when there's no peace. You understand me? True. Be careful with what you're doing. You have not met with us, Prime Minister Ahmed. and you're talking about you're meeting with people, all different kind of people, but you don't bring Emperor Haile Selassie I in it, and talking about the past glory of Ethiopia, the monarchy, but you don't talk about Emperor Haile Selassie I, government and his monarchy, constitutional monarchy. So you're a fraud.
So we haven't
Yes, I mean you are a fraud, and I want people now to stop supporting you and open their eyes and see clearly from your actions. People who are watching this thing, and also the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, we want you to know that your time is limited.
True.
Yeah, because your rule it done now. Because one Prime Minister, Dessalines, was removed to put you in to make changes towards restoration and bring back the past glory, which is Emperor Haile Selassie I's constitutional monarchy. And you failed to do anything in that objective. So we are saying to you, be careful with what you're doing. Why we are saying that? Because you're setting up yourself for a fall. You're rising for a fall. I'm telling you. But I want to tell you this, that David always beat Goliath.
True.
And now we see you as the Goliath. David is Emperor Haile Selassie I, and we are the Church of Haile Selassie I, and the Imperial Ethiopian Royal Federation is David in this time. Remember that. Emperor Haile Selassie I, live blessed be Jah.
Rastafari, Emperor Haile Selassie I, live.
Greetings in the name of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I, one God. Greetings to all Ethiopians at home and abroad. Greetings to students, and greetings to all those who love justice and yet aggression. Well, as my brethren, Abuna and Brother Chris identify, I cannot elaborate anymore on it in terms of what is going on in Ethiopia. But from the beginning, I can tell you this. The euphoria that surrounds Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed from his inaugural speech up to this point has been misplaced, because it is the same old sour pig with new perfume. You understand? The same old Stalinist, Marxist, communist regime and mentality is what is still ruling Ethiopia right now. And if Abiy Ahmed is presenting a face to the world of democracy and reforms and change, but underground, in behind the scenes, he's executing business as usual, how can you even entertain to bring Mengistu back to Ethiopia? You know what it is like? That is like Germany or Hitler going to Israel to retire in Israel. And all people welcome him back after he killed 6 million Jews. You understand? It's impossible. How can that possibility even be introduced in current Ethiopian history? Like my brother Chris said, Mengistu should be brought back to Ethiopia to face trial and to face the consequences of his actions in 1974.
True.
And therefore, there cannot be any peace or reconciliation until justice is served to the 500,000 or 2 million Ethiopians that were executed and killed by Mengistu and the the Red Terror. That justice has to be faced by Ethiopia and dealt with. There's no moving on before that happens. And therefore, if that is the case, then you have to bring His Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I into the whole thing. And I see a conspiracy by the Ethiopian people and the Ethiopian leaders on trying to erase the name of Emperor Haile Selassie I. Them go around it. Them bring in Menelik I. Them bring in Emperor Theodore. They bring in all kind of people. They want to state the name of Emperor Haile Selassie I. What are they afraid of? Is my question. If Emperor Haile Selassie I is so insignificant that you could overthrow him in 1974, kill majority of his family, kill a majority of the priesthood, right? He must have been really insignificant. So why is it now that no one wants to say his name, not even the president of the Crown Council? So at this point in time, Brethren and sisters, in Ethiopia, you have to be careful because you're going down the wrong road. You're taking a wrong turn. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed. And if you're being influenced by outside forces for economic reasons, then God help you. Because only God alone, His Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I can save Ethiopia. With that, I will say, give thanks and blessed be
Jah Rastafari, Emperor Haile Selassie I.
Yes, greetings in one God, Emperor Haile Selassie I, might of the Trinity, blessed be Jah Rastafari, Emperor Haile Selassie I. And greetings, my name is Brother Abdil Hal Fox from the Church of Empire First in the North America branch. And same thing that Brother LOI, Brother Haniel, and the Abuna said a while ago is similar to what I'm going to say as well. That the present Prime Minister time is limited because he's making decisions that, you know what I mean, far outseed his knowledge. Understand? Especially with the patriarchs. Because what people don't understand is that the patriarch title, especially in Ethiopia, is patriarchs for life. Meaning that them money don't change until they ascend. And then the thing get passed on to somebody else. So the main fact that they brought in a next one that was exiled over to Ethiopia, that one help spiritually and the other help day to day, is wrong. It's wrong because, like Brother LY said, under the constitutional monarchy, we defend king and what? Bishop. And there's only one bishop. Understand? Not two. Not one do this part, I do the other part. And especially with the Mengistu, the most wickedest man in Ethiopian history.
True.
Have on their own. You're willing to bring back on reconciliation. We can't, although we're trying to stop tribalism, although you're trying to stop certain foolishness happening in Ethiopia, we can't get boxed in the left cheek and then turn the right cheek.
No.
We can't do that. We're not compassionate people like that. We deal with justice and truth. So, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, please think over your decision. Like Brother Haniel said, if you're influenced by other people, cut them off. Cut them off. And to the Royal Council, to the Crown Council, make statements. And to the people that's watching the Facebook video too for the mass movement, make statements. Tell the people what you feel. And if anybody don't know about Mengistu or the Red Terror, type in his name in Google and research it. And the history alone will let you understand why we are vexed.
True.
So with that, blessed be Jah
Rastafari, Emperor Haile Selassie I.
Yes, greetings in the name of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I, one God. My name is Brother Amaziah at the Church of Emperor Haile Selassie I here in New York. I'm going to keep my message short and brief. If Mengistu comes back to Ethiopia, the only acceptable way is for him to come in handcuffs, to get ready to go to prison for the atrocities that he has done in Ethiopia, 74, and throughout his 17 years reign as dictator of Ethiopia.
True.
Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, 42 years old, young man. Remember 1990-91 when Mengistu was ousted out of power by Meles. You were one of the soldiers. You were part of that military force that got rid of Mengistu.
True.
You understand?
True.
There is no feasible way this man could come back to Ethiopia and live comfortably, and no one is considering to even bring back the monarchy. But y'all want to bring back Mengistu? That doesn't make any sense. You understand? So I would have just asked that you really reconsider what it is that you are about to do or what you're thinking about doing, because if you want to see true civil war in Ethiopia, then bring back Mengistu and see what happened. Because Too many lives were lost to see this man come back and live comfortable, while so many people through him had to go into exile and still have not returned back home. You understand? And as for the two patriarchs, that is a matter that only Emperor Haile Selassie I can fix. Two patriarchs in Ethiopia is unheard of in the history of the church or the state, to have one represent the state and one represent the spiritual side, when in the past the patriarch represented both church and state because he had say in both.
Sure.
You understand? Him represent the royal and the priestly Messiah, and the emperor as the royal Messiah. So look at it again, and people who understand history and people who are vexed about the history that happened in 74. Because you see, all of this mass movement thing that we're doing, all of the protests, we would have never had to do it if Mengistu didn't do what he did.
Sure.
And Ethiopia would be nice right now.
Great.
You understand? Under monarchy,
No,
because I keep saying it again. When you look at Ethiopian history from in the beginning in the Bible all the way to 1974, yeah, they had turmoil, but Ethiopia was united and Ethiopia was at peace. Ethiopia was a sovereign state, a sovereign nation. And from 74 to today, you can't have no peace. So it's not a rocket science. Bring back the monarchy. And we who are Rastafarian expect that the Crown Council have to make statement, because it's your leadership too that the Rastafarians are looking for. And when you make that statement, remember, you're the Crown Council representing the house of Emperor Haile Selassie I.
True.
So when you make your statement, call his name.
True.
You understand? Because it's through the power of that name that Ethiopia will get peace again. And with that, His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I, live it, blessed be Jah Rastafari. Emperor Haile Selassie I, live it, Majesty.